very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. It's the last one for the week. We promise to make it worth your while. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, well, I call it a joke taken too far. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, that fight, we'll talk about it and, of course, look at how it could swing. And, of course, we will also be looking at the fast approaching African Cup of Nations. We'll be looking at it, we'll be talking about it. And, of course, we'll also be looking at the English Premier League and football on the domestic scene. We'll give you a slice of grassroots football and maybe throw in some cycling if the time permits. That's the outlook of the show tonight. It's a two-man show. My colleague, Austin Konakman, is suited and ready to go along on his ride.
Spotty greetings to you, Yemi. Spotty greetings to everyone joining us on the show tonight. Always an action-packed world of sports. Yes, I can feel it now. It's so close. It's this close. The 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco, they said they want to break the records. Nigeria, can they sing the redemption song? Can the Super Eagles go out there and say, look, we were this close to giving you guys the AFCON trophy in Cote d'Ivoire? Yemi, can they do it in Morocco?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But anyway, we're not starting that way on the show. Of course, tonight, we'll start a bit differently. But first, let's quickly bring in our guest in the Lagos studio. And of course, he's no other person than Olumide James Akombi. Greetings to you, Olumide. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show.
Thank you, Yemi, for having me. Good evening.
Yeah.
You, and of course, good evening to Austin.
All right, very interesting. I called it a joke taken too far. I don't know if you agree. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, and, you know, the point is, a lot of people are saying it's all about the money. There's nothing about boxing in all of this.
Yes, 140 million pounds you have here. That means each of these guys are going with 70 million each. It's all about money.
You know, let me just pause you a little. Let's see if we can probably get to let our viewers see a tale of the tape and also a bit of what went down when both fighters. Maybe I'll just go across. I think I'll do that before I allow James talk about this, which is a fitting way to start it off. Let me just go to the screen and a bit of comparison here, and you will understand why I think it's a joke taken too far. And you'll see that in a minute. There you go. Tale of the tape, Jake Paul up against Anthony Joshua. One is a proper boxer. The other one is a YouTuber. I don't know, but somehow he's been able to force his way, and credit to him, he's been able to put down, well, one or two guys who should be knocking him out, but somehow was able to put them out. And he was also able to stay on his feet in a boxing bout with people like Floyd Mayweather and, of course, Mike Tyson. That should also count for something, but he's no way a professional boxer. So here we go. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Of course, he's nicknamed the Problem Child. And, of course, Anthony Joshua's, popularly known as AJ. Talking about the age, one is 28, the other is 35. The reach, which is clearly in Anthony Joshua's favor, 82 inches compared to 76 for his opponent. Then you also know that it's not even about the reach. The opportunity you get to throw the punch also matters. Fights, one has 12, the other has 28. Anthony Joshua's had 28 fights. And, of course, fights won. Anthony Joshua has won 28 fights, while Jake Paul, like I said, to his credit, has won a few fights. For losses, Jake Paul has lost one fight. And, of course, 7 knockouts in his, short-lived boxing career. Then Anthony Joshua has lost 4. Of his 28 wins, 25 have come by knockout. For Jake Paul, no titles. For Joshua, he has held the IBF and the WO titles before losing them to Usyk. In comparison, the height, everything just looks to be in favor of Anthony Joshua. And of course, talking about the weight also, Anthony Joshua, obviously, a lot bigger than Jake Paul in comparison. So that's what it is. So, I mean, let me come to you now. I mean, looking at all of this now, is this a mismatch?
Well, this seems to be like an exhibition for me.
Should be an exhibition.
It is an exhibition. That's what I call this. I don't think. I think this is all about the money.
All of this is happening in Austin's backyard, and I want to go into it, but I want to ask you this. You're saying but if it turns out to be a loss for Joshua, it's going to be on his...
It doesn't count. This man just knocked out, how many weeks ago? He knocked out, what's his name? Mike Tyson. I mean, that doesn't have anything on Tyson's CV, on whatever he's done in
the past.
Yeah, I dare say that I don't think Joshua has also scratched what Mike Tyson did in his time. So, I mean, this is just all about
whatever happens.
It doesn't count. It doesn't
okay,
count.
I don't know if Austin agrees. A lot of people, Austin, say whatever Anthony Joshua does to Jake Paul, it's not going to salvage his dented image, especially with that loss to Daniel Dubois. But a loss will severely damage what has been dented, don't you think?
It will destroy it, you know.
Wow.
To destroy it. I met Anthony Joshua for the first time at the Rio 2016 Olympics. I keep telling this story because it showed the true Niger champion that he is. You know, I was crossing the road, you know, trying to look for one of the centers, and he yelled Niger boy because I had the Nigerian muffler on my neck. You know, and I crossed over. He was right there with Tom Cunningham, his PR guy. They were doing, I think, analysis for the BBC, and we talked, you know. And right then, I picked big interest with Anthony Joshua. Right after his professional debut, I think it was Emmanuel Leo in 2013. Remember, it was fresh coming out as an Olympic champion from the London 2012 Olympics, you know. The boxing world welcomed Anthony Joshua so well, Yemi. We were so excited. It was a breath of fresh air. He's good looking. He's got physicality. You know, he's welcoming. He's the fans' delight. He became a model for the sport. So everyone loved Anthony Joshua. We were rooting for him. We wanted him to be our world champion, and he did. Particularly with the way, you know, he took out Vladimir Klitschko and went on to become the champion, and then lost that belt the way he did to Andy Ruiz, and then came back to become a two-time world champion. He's been trying to become a three-time world champion, and it's not happening. I just thought I should break it down a bit so we'll understand that at this stage of Anthony Joshua's career, it's not a guy who started off as a prankster and now a YouTuber that I should be sharing the ring with. And just in case you don't know, it's faintly unreal, it is unimaginable that this has been dubbed a professional heavyweight contest, Yemi. It has been, you know, and Anthony Joshua said he doesn't care what anyone is saying, that he loves the fact that it's creating a conversation. Jake Paul says he's going to shock the world, beat Anthony Joshua, and become the king of boxing. So you see, when persons hear these things, particularly if you're a big boxing fan, as I am, it's something it does to you when you think about it, that even some of the greats like Mike Tyson that we adored, they've passed through this. So my question tonight is, what are we trying to do to boxing, you know, particularly heavyweight boxing? No disrespect to the guys who want to get on the ring, create some entertainment, do it for the money, but let's think about the love for the sport, the followership, what actually drew people to it, the passion. So that's why all these exhibition fights and the rest just, you know, worries me, and I really can't explain it. Right here in the UK, the conversation is, we still believe an Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight will be a massive heavyweight blockbuster. and probably create a British record. You don't want to see Anthony Joshua going to fight Jake Paul. The fans want to see a proper, real good fight. Maybe fight Dubois again, get your revenge, get into reckoning, probably having a shot at the title again. These are just signs looking like Kemi. Maybe I'm tired. Let me just start winding up now. There's nothing in it for me with this heavyweight boxing. And that's why it really worries me. I mean,
yeah, it does. Like a farewell tour. And, I mean, only before we just let this go, this Jake Paul phenomenon, I mean, YouTube star, a lot of money. A lot of people are saying, and I also alluded to it, probably to return the pride of boxing, maybe they should infuse more money, because it's clear to you and I that the only thing that made Anthony Joshua consider in the first place is the money involved. Because just look at the way Austin said it. It's improbable to even imagine that Jake Paul would be in a ring with Anthony Joshua in less than three rounds. He should be flat on the floor.
Well, yes, like I said, this is all about the money. When you look at the money involved in this, it's a lot of money, and
But why can't boxing authorities, all those guys, bring this guy? How is a YouTube star
able to pull this?
That's the question.
I mean, that's what he does. That's what makes him special. The fact
and that's
that
why everybody wants to fight. Because he will tell you, whatever they're going to give you, I'll give you more.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe they need to get him on board so he can show them the metrics, the tricks.
I'm getting this money.
How he's able to pull things like this. You don't have a YouTuber going against a
professional boxer.
Pro. Someone has ruled the world twice. He's fought some of the best hands you can find around.
It's a shame.
But again, it's what it is. We know these days how sport, how it has evolved into, it is a money-making, spinning industry. And when people like this can come up with very well-packaged events like this, it's going to shoot out there.
Yemi, before we wrap up on this, why I do not even want them to start thinking about having this sort of conversation, it will water down the sport. Because all of the rules that they bring in, sort of more YouTubers, exhibition fights will come into, and it still look like an entire joke. Muhammad Ali will be shaking his head where he is, you know. Back in the day when we talk about heavyweight boxing and the top guys want to come out where you know that anything can happen. We still put it in history. What Buster did to Mike Tyson is still unbelievable. We also liked what Andy Ruiz did to Anthony Joshua. For instance, Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, they are going to fight just 8 rounds, 3 minutes at the Kesea Center. And they have said that Anthony Joshua isn't allowed to weigh more than 111 kg. So you see, when they start bringing all of these things into it, then it becomes a proper joke. Like, we just want you guys just to sit on YouTube and watch this if you want to, and then just know that this is not what you should be calling a serious contest. It will destroy the sport, you know. So I don't know. Boxing really needs to sit down. I mean, the money is there. Back in the day, you want to say, Samuel Okon Peter in the 90s had to lose a fight to just pocket 10 million. My brother is still eating that money. There was money back in the day. So there's still money, but we're carried away with this new internet trend, this online trend, this virtual followership. It's generating money, but I think the organizers of boxing just need to sit down and think about it and say, okay, Remy, just try and imagine everything that happens and Alexander Usyk decides to get into the ring with Jake Paul, and maybe he's having stomach pain or a bad headache, and this guy knocks him out.
Boxing is destroyed. Even with this one, boxing has lost face, in my opinion. But let's move on. We spent 16 minutes on Anthony Joshua, so I mean, we have to move on.
That was our big change.
All right. Let me allow us to do the honors right there in Oyo State, cycling, getting us stuck in. And those are the kind of things we want to see getting into the spotlight, the Ogbomoso Creators Carnival. And, you know, it's the kind of culture we like to see. Sports is not just leisure. There is health benefits. And, I mean, let's not even talk about financial benefits, health benefits. It's a consciousness, takes people off the street. It's just enormous.
It's massive, Yemi. It's fantastic. And I love that we're beginning to see ways that we can showcase Nigeria with sports and tourism other than just football. You know, like there are apps now that you can place on your TV screen and it will tell you where this place is right there in Ogbomoso. It will tell you, just put it on your TV screen. It will just tell you, oh, this cyclist, they are having a run in Ogbomoso, and they will go back to Iseyin and then come back. And that is fantastic for Nigeria. That's development. That's why we're telling the government in Nigeria, we're telling sports administrators in Nigeria that we cannot mess around with this. Over 400 cyclists. Over 400. And you talked about the benefits involved in it. What about the spirit of sportsmanship it will promote? What about what it will do to this community? You know, having these sort of persons come around. What about what it will do to them as a people? What about the dreams that it will, you know, to charge young persons that will say, oh, one of these days I can actually put on a helmet, jump on a bike and go compete at the Tour de France, at an international cycling event, even the Olympics. It's massive. So shout out to everyone that put together this one, 76-kilometer cycling event. It's in Oyo State. I want to see more across the country, Yemi. And Olumide, when we start doing things like this, we open up that space, that market that we've been saying it's been so difficult to build in Nigeria. Destroy this 100% attention on football and FIFA money, which that's why we cannot sleep until we break the back door into the World Cup and look at other sports and say we can actually use it to develop our country, Olumide.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in other sports. We don't only have talents who can play football. I know Nigeria is a football-centric nation, but it's not a Nigerian thing, because for every continent, for every nation, they have a sport that they are identified with. I think ours is football, but when you look at the population of Nigeria, to about 212 million persons, everybody is not going to play football. And this is a very great initiative. You see this also happening with tennis. You see this happening in other sports. And I think it's something we should encourage. Like you mentioned, Yemi, there's health benefits, there are financial rewards. And beyond all of that, younger athletes will look at this and say, oh, there is a growing interest in this sport. How about I pick up my own interest in this, develop myself, and who knows, I probably will get to the global stage, like the Olympics. I think it's a welcome initiative.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we need to go on the break. On the other side of the break, we'll take some reactions from, of course, the cycling event, the Ogbomoso Carnival, and then, of course, we'll come back to talk football, with grassroots football, and, of course, talk about the Super Eagles. All for you when we return from this break.
The message is wide and clear. Putting cycling on the map for Nigerians, encouraging, empowering youth, and likewise creating awareness about cycling, and promoting cycling at its best, and giving the younger ones and tourists an environment to excel. Because putting cycling forward, other countries have been enjoying it, and bringing Grand Fondo to Ogbomoso and Iseyin gives it a template and a way forward to start seeing cycling as a sport to look out for. Either so be it as an active cyclist or a tourist attraction event.
The benefit why he initiated this particular program is for everyone to know the benefits of cycling as a sport, because I know most people, they were like, and if you're riding on the road, they'll be like, what are these people riding? What's all this? Why are you disturbing us on the road? But there are a lot of health benefits of cycling, because number one, it reduces your weight, and it helps your BP. It helps a lot of health benefits that it has. So we are doing this just to create awareness, and for Ogbomoso itself to have a new a new, what will I say, a new way for the future of the land itself.
All right, welcome back. We're done with that, and hope to see more of that. All right, let's talk about grassroots football now. Season 7 of the Cohesion football tournament. You're going to see pictures on your screen. Olumide, we had over 40 under 15 and under 13 teams, as you can see on your screen. 4 female teams competing in this year's final of the Lagos State Grassroots Football Initiative. O&A Sports beats Primus 1-0 to win the under 13 boys event, while Right to Smile edged Hard Rock Football Academy 2-1 to emerge champions in the under 15 category. Wasbach Queens beat Unification 1-0 to win the girls' final in the 2-day tournament. Adeniran Ribat clinched the MVP for the girls, while Adebayo Oduroye of Right to Smile Football Academy won the MVP for the under 15 category, while Emmanuel Adesoya was named the MVP of the under 13 category. Interesting times. Let's take some reaction from this, and of course Olumide is here to share his thoughts. I mean, you can see the joy and the excitement of the young ones, and you need to put them in these situations at a very, very early age, make them competitive, let them show their passion, and of course the results will always bring out something good. Let's take some reaction. We'll come back for more.
I mean, the initiative was established majorly to encourage young children to go to school and to play football. I mean, they can juggle up the two together. I was driving around Mushin, and I saw some kids playing football during school hours, and I was forced to come down and I asked them, why are you guys playing football during school hours? And they said their parents didn't pay their tuition fee. I mean, but I know that the Lagos State government is giving young children secondary school free education. So I knew there was a gap somewhere. So I told my wife that we need to fill in the gap. That I was supposed to dish them out with cash, and so I told my wife that we need to give them cash, and decided to use the 2-cup football to preach to these kids that they can juggle the two together to play football and to go to school. I mean, the journey has been systemic. It has been one step at a time, but thank God for where we are today. I mean, this year has been okay. So this tournament started with just about 7 teams. Yes, and right now it has grown to having 48 teams all across different communities in Lagos and Oyo State. So we have 30 under 15 male teams, and we have 10 under 13 male teams, and we have 8 female teams. So we're trying to balance the equation, both the girl child and the male child, So this year's tournament has sincerely improved with more teams participating, more teams excited to be part of the biggest grassroots football tournament in Nigeria, but our focus is Africa as a whole.
We're actually raising role models here, where Cohesion football tournament, we always say the youth, the star, and the future. And we are excited to be hosting this every single year. This year we have over 1,400 children that are here playing the game to compete to win. Grassroots football tournaments in Nigeria should be paid attention to. There's not a lot of attention to it, and most of the superstars that we make today, they actually come from grassroots football. And so we are redefining grassroots football tournaments in Nigeria, because, if we don't do it, then who will? And we're looking for more people to be a part of this. We're thankful to all our friends, family, and some corporate partners who have been a part of this, but it's not enough. We actually do need a lot of people on board, because we always say that we need to make our community better, and this is just the little way we can to ensure that every child is able to go to school and play football.
All right, so that's it. Opportunity for children to play the game of football and go to school, get a chance, get a platform to do what they want to do. Olumide, I want to get your thoughts on this. Excited kids. You hear one of the organizers talking about having, 1,400 children, having to manage all of that, and season 7. It looked a bit like they were singing praises, but sometimes you can blow your own trumpet when you're doing the right thing.
Well, they're doing the right thing. Very good for them. They're able to allow some of this potential explode, explore their talent. But the question I always ask when I see initiatives like this is, when you look at the structure of our football, it doesn't encourage grassroots discovery.
Yeah.
Because, again, so where do you go from here?
It's a big question.
Where do you go from here?
I agree.
Because the system does not accommodate.
But let's celebrate this first.
But yeah, this is brilliant. This is good. I like the fact that the children, like I said, were able to go out there and explore, do what they know how to do.
They're getting a glimpse of what it can be.
Yeah, the exposure,
yes,
feeling of what, and who knows? You probably have scouts around.
Definitely,
who would have found one or two.
And also, I know you want to probably have your 2 cents. Probably have to stop Olumide there, because if we go in that direction, we're not going to finish. But you know, that's the problem. While you're celebrating things like this, then the question is, what next after this? Because you don't see what is next.
Yeah, shout out to the guys at Cohesion Football. This is 7th edition. We've been talking about this a lot on the show. I just first want to commend them, because I know it is very challenging to, you know, do football at the grassroots. That's why I want to agree to Lumide that, you know, we don't encourage it. And for you, what's next? I think the lady summed it up so well. She said the youth, the star and the future. You know, the youth, the star and the future. So we have these kids approaching, you know, that ripe youthful age. Make them stars and then see where the future takes them to, you know. And I'm a big fan of sport for development. I talked about it on the show last night, and I'm glad I have another opportunity to talk about it. And this competition right here is exposing the power of sports as a tool for social cohesion, you know. And a big thing that it does is it supports, you know, uniting diverse community. We did it a lot with the Channels International Kids Cup. We bring kids from Borno, we bring kids from Plateau, we bring kids from Cross River, Akwa Ibom, from the Southwest, the 6 geopolitical zones represented, and they come and they play football for the love of the game, and we help them to expose their passion, their talent. And the good thing it does is that it breaks down barriers. So the guy from Borno State is meeting the guy from Akwa Ibom State, and they will relate, and they will play football, and at the end of the day we'll teach them the need for them to stay together. It breaks down barriers at that stage, because that's the best way you can tackle it when they are young. And that is what this sort of competition is doing. And that's why we say at the grassroots, it's beyond just coming out to play football or do sports. It's beyond just giving prize money. It is the values that you imbibe into these kids. So that's why I like this one. So shout out to the guys at Cohesion Football. I pray that other sports we see need to do this sort of programs also, just so we can build a total man, a total woman, start when they are young, you know, give them some good life values that can help make Nigeria a better place.
So let's move on. It's time to address the elephant in the room. Talking about the Nations Cup, and officially it's just 2 days to go, as you can see right here. And at this point, we always like to ask anybody we have with us in the studio, you know, if it is okay. All right, so thanks for seeing us on the other side. It's 2 days to go to Africa's biggest football showpiece, and that's the Nations Cup. And it's that time where we ask people if they are feeling the vibes with 2 days to go. Olumide, quick response from you. 2 days to go, does it look like Africa's biggest showpiece is about to begin?
Yes, I clearly can say yes. So I've seen the attires from different African countries, and that's the beauty of Africa. The culture, the colors, the I
was particularly impressed with the Malians.
Yeah, I mean, very, very colorful. It's colorful, and I think that they set the motion for the games to start.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about the Super Eagles. That's a subject I've been trying to avoid for some time, but then we have a job to do. The Super Eagles, of course, held their training in that place where they're going to be playing their games, and everything all looks calm, and they're preparing for their first game. And so, of course, with the exit of William Troost Ekong, officially, Wilfred Ndidi is now the captain of the Super Eagles. And he's been talking about how it feels being officially the captain of the Super Eagles. Let's listen to Wilfred Ndidi speaking on that, and of course, we'll come back to talk some more.
It's a huge responsibility, and with the help of the players, I think everything will go smooth. I've had conversation with a couple of players, just some of the older players, just try to make them understand the reason why we're here, also need the support also from the staff. We're all in this together, so we just have this conversation of the tax ahead, so, and it is very important we all be on the same page. As a great leader, he speaks a lot for the team, he stands for the team, and he tries to take everything in for the team, and I admire him a lot, and how outspoken he is, and I think he's one person where everyone in the team look up to, is that guy that actually stands for the team. Like I said earlier, speaks for the team, encourage everyone, and he's an amazing guy. I've learned a lot from him, and also we spoke a couple of weeks ago, and I just be chipping some advice, from him once in, once out, so I feel like he's still part of the team, and is gonna be missed. Yeah, it was a sad one, missing out on the World Cup, and this is another opportunity. They say another day, another opportunity. It's another opportunity to correct the wrongs and put smiles on the faces of Nigerians and make the country proud once again.
Yeah. All right, we've already did that, but just for laughs and for context, the Super Eagles captain appears to have moved on from not qualifying for the World Cup. Maybe the authorities should do that as well. All right, just for laughs anyway. All right, so this is it on the screen. 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, the fixture on Sunday. Morocco host will take on Comoros. Then on Monday, the fixture in Group A, Mali. I like their attire, by the way. I like their entrance. Yeah. Very good. I thought Nigeria was going to top that, but we didn't. I have to be honest. The Malians, what they did, their outfit, the way they came down, takes the cake for me. And I'm going to have to keep that video in a place. I just loved the way, bright colors. It was, pleasing to the eye. Good to see. All right. And, of course, on Monday, South Africa takes on Angola. Egypt takes on Zimbabwe. All right. Olumide, before I yield to Austin, for me, there's a sort of hangover somehow. I'm not angry that we didn't qualify for the World Cup, but it leaves a bitter taste somehow. And that is personal, actually. That affects. The AFCON for me is not eagerly anticipated. We've won it 3 times. There's really nothing. For some people, they say winning it will be a redemption. It cannot be redemption, because even if we do, we have not solved the problems, and those problems is going to come and bite us again. So for you, do you agree with those who feel, well, if you win AFCON is redemption for not qualifying for the World Cup?
Soft landing. I think it's soft landing. I think it's the only thing they can do to get a path. You can just pack them back and just say, hey.
Let me butt in, because I want to go to Austin immediately, because I've already said my opinion. So he'll say it's soft landing for the authorities or for the players?
For the players.
What about it?
So, again, you can leave because we know like you said the other time when I was talking about grassroots, if we get into that phase, so let's just leave them. But for the players, because let's be honest, I don't think Nigerians are looking at the people in authority. I, for one, during the World Cup qualifiers, they didn't get the ticket. And I said to myself that I don't care about the people in authority, because the biggest beneficiary of playing at the global stage are not the people there. We talk about it now, but I don't mention people in authority. I talk about the players.
So the biggest losers in this case.
Yes, so I think that for them, they just must go there and win. That's the only thing they can do.
That's the only redemption. Also, a quick one, I don't think it's redemption. But that's the tune a lot of people are playing. That's the song out there. Win this, you're forgiven. Win this, everything is fine. Do you see that way?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a Nigerian, and that's the angle we always go, you know, because we're very big on winning, and the fans. When I joined this campaign, I mean, it's for the fans because they're hurting, particularly fans like you, me, and those ones who witnessed football in Nigeria in the 80s, in the 90s, and early 2000s. Even when the Super Eagles don't win. Yesterday, I talked about my favorite AFCON moment, and it wasn't one that we won. Damilola Onifade wants it to go away, but if you check the way we lost that final, it is acceptable. These days, we lose football matches, and if you watch in front of your TV set, you cannot get up. You will just sit down there wondering, what did I just watch? What just happened?
It'll look like two wasted hours.
So this redemption song that people are talking about, it's just to see the Super Eagles lift a trophy again. Just like what we saw in 2013. They started so slow. At some point, people started criticizing the big boss, God bless his soul, criticized his team, and then they picked up. And then we won. And everyone forgot the problems. You know, I totally agree with you that it doesn't solve the problem. But I mean, land this way, you might not like it. It can be likened to your Arsenal. You know, the fans are still there despite everything happening. But it deserves to,
you have to
see
that
their team win a trophy.
Okay, all right. I guess we have to move on. But I do agree with you. A lot of us that grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, watched football. I mean, I had memories of Nigeria trailing in a game 4-0, and somebody was asking me how many minutes to go. I said 15, and the guy said, okay. That was the level of belief that we had in our
4 goals down.
4 goals down. Somebody was asking me, how many minutes left? 15. I said, okay. Just look at the mindset.
The mentality.
That's
the culture they have built.
That is what we grew up knowing, that, 15 minutes to go against a top European side, the Super Eagles can still come back. But that's no more. Anyway, let's move on. And quickly talk about, let's see how much we can take. It's time to leave the Nations Cup, but let's quickly move on and talk about football on the domestic scene. Let's quickly take a look at fixtures in the Nigeria Premier Football League. That's going to be our next port of call. There you have it. Alkanemi Warriors taking on Eyimba. Kano Pillars taking on Plateau United. We're talking about match day 18 now. Matches are played on Sunday. Abia Warriors up against Warriors. Rangers International taking on Ikorodu City. Kwara United will take on Bayelsa United. These matches will be played on Sunday. Let's see some other matches to be played as well. You have Remo Stars taking on Bendel Insurance. Shooting Stars taking on Niger Tornadoes. Wiki Tourists will take on Kun Khalifa. These are the matches to be played in the Nigeria Premier Football League. On Monday, Casino United will take on Rivers United. A rescheduled game was played. Barao FC defeated Rivers United for one. If Rivers United had won this, that would probably open up a big gap, and it would, put them in the kind of position where others will have to be chasing. Olumide, which one of those fixtures really, really jumps at you?
There are 2 of them. Ikorodu City against Rangers. I think it's a game that I'm really, because for Ikorodu City now, in their last 2 games, they've dropped 4 points. They drew away and drew at home against Katsina United. Now they are going away again. Yes, one of the best teams on the road. They've picked 8 points on the road, 5 draws, a victory, and 2 losses. So that's a strong team on the road. Can they consolidate this time? Maybe still get a draw, so they will still be in and around the continental spaces, because what they have done this season is remarkable. Nobody expected Ikorodu City in second season to be doing what they are doing. They are up there, top 2, top 3. They've been that for weeks. Now, the second game will be the Insurance Remo Stars game. Now, Remo Stars seem to have found some rhythm in Abeokuta, but they are coming against an Insurance side that is flirting with relegation. But Insurance are unbeaten in 5 games, home and away. So I really, really am interested in that game.
All right. So let's see Austin's take as we prepare to wrap things up.
Yeah, some good results in it right there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of all these rescheduled games. I don't know. I just feel when everyone is playing, just go on to play, And yeah, maybe if you're playing Continental, I can pass it, but aside that, it's just tough. Like, how can you explain Barra FC 4, Rivers United 1? How do you explain that sort of result? No disrespect to Barra, but I just feel those kind of things just really gets me thinking. But by the way, that's a big win for them. But let's just see if we can actually get everything back. And we really get talking about it the right way. I'm looking at match day 18 fixtures, and I'm seeing some interesting fixtures right there to be played on Sunday, and that's one I'm really looking forward to. So I think we should just leave it at that. The rescheduled results, got me to a place where I didn't really like.
All right, let's see if we can make the English Premier League our parting shot on the show. Let's quickly take a look at the fixtures as we prepare to go. English Premier League, everything happening in Austin's backyard. On Sunday, Aston Villa will take on Manchester United. But let's start with Saturday. Newcastle United will take on Chelsea. Bournemouth will take on Burnley. Brighton up against Sunderland. Manchester City will take on West Ham. All of these matches on Saturday. Wolverhampton Wanderers will take on Brentford. Tottenham takes on Liverpool. Everton will be up against the Gunners, talking about Arsenal. Leeds United will take on Crystal Palace. All of these matches on Saturday. And on Sunday, Aston Villa will take on struggling Manchester United. All right. Austin, as we go, how close is Ruben Amorim to a sack?
Every time we talked about Ruben, we said, "Oh, he's so close, he's so close." Somehow, somebody in Manchester United board seems to be proposing marriage to that manager, because it has to be only a love relationship that should still be keeping Ruben Amorim. And he's so adamant, he's so rigid with his formation, with staying with what he believes in. There's nothing wrong with you staying with what you believe in, but when it's not working, you change it, But I don't know. I mean, we'll wait to see. The same thing we said about Ole. It was left to the board to, come out and say when they were done. But with Ruben Amorim, did we even expect that it would still be the manager? But he's still here. So I can't tell. But match after match, I say, okay, this is the last. This guy is going. This is it. He's going. And then it's coming out again. So I don't know. You want to say something?
Yeah. We're going to pause for a few seconds. We'll be back on the other side. All right, I'm going to throw this at you, quick fire, 5 seconds. Give me your answer. Thomas Frank. Daniel Levy, not the chairman anymore, but he's still somewhere around. Thomas Frank, How safe is he?
I think he's safe. They should keep him. I like what he's doing. It will take time. They're in a very terrible place. I think they should fix their board issue. I think it's leadership. But I like Thomas Frank. I like what he's trying to do with this team. But look, it's got to be long-term. They shouldn't use the mentality that they had with Postecoglou and think that they can go win another Europa League title and it's the end of their problems. For Austin, keep Thomas Frank. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports. Bye for now.
That's a wrap here in Lagos as well. This is the last one for the week. And, of course, the festive season up in the air. So enjoy the season. But first, I want to thank Olumide James Akombi, for his time on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, hopefully we'll do this again some other time. Yeah, sure. All right, that's the show today. Enjoy the rest of your day. You see us again next week. I'm Emi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.